Marriage counselors, what are the most common mistakes couples make? I have provided couples counseling at different points in my career. Some of the common mistakes I will often see are expecting partners to be able to read their mind and anticipate needs and wants. Goes with the first one. Lack of communication, comfort with discussing difficult topics. Or one partner being uncomfortable with discussion a topic which leaves both partners feeling frustrated or dissatisfied. Blaming their partner for all issues in the relationship and not taking ownership of their own role in dysfunction issues. Not expressing gratitude towards your partner on a regular basis. Experiences and expressions of gratitude can have a really positive effect on psychological well-being as well as relational strength. Not giving intimacy in their relationship enough attention. This includes but is not limited to sex. Many relationships start with a hot and heavy phase where intimacy can come naturally. As this phase diminishes, many couples do not spend the time and energy to consider how to maintain a healthy level of intimacy now that it doesn't just come naturally. Wife has degree in marriage and family counseling. One of the bigger factors in a successful marriage are couples responding to rescue attempts during arguments, conflict. Rescue attempts are often little jokes or olive branches to help overcome issues and arguments. Edit. People keep asking for an example. My wife didn't buy movie tickets in advance for date night this last Sunday and it was sold out. It sucked. She laughed and sheepishly said, "Well, at least we get to spend more time together staring longingly into each other's eyes." That was her rescue attempt. It works two ways though. I also have to respond positively to it, which I did. We did a lot of staring longingly into each other's eyes last Sunday. Edit 2. I thanked my wife for the fake internet points and told her why. Her response: "That's funny because you're not even responsive to rescue attempts." Idiot, I can't stop laughing. Therapist here. Have served couples. Number one problem I see is overactive threat response creating anger and rigidity. People don't stop to turn down their defense mode and lose sight of love because all their energy is going towards being right or controlling the outcome. Of course that control comes from a place of fear, but fear and vulnerability feels too dangerous, so it typically gets expressed as anger, frustration, or rigidity. Surrender to not having control, accept what's in front of you, and cultivate compassion. Please. Because you're rigid couples who just can't prioritize empathizing with each other over your fear response are driving me nuts. Edit. Just adding a smiley face. And that this is the most common case I see, not the only. There are lots of folks who won't fit this pattern. As soon as couple stops being on the same team, fighting all the bullshit of life together, things fall apart. Get on the same team. Get behind each other's goals. If you're not on the same team, you're just going to wind up annoying the fuck out of each other. All that bullshit of life is going to be beating you down and your life partner is just going to be part of it instead of a refuge. Children. This needs more visibility. For the love of everything that is good and pure, don't bring a child into a broken marriage expecting him to be the lifesaver. It has never worked and it will never. A child is supposed to be the consolidation of the mutual love of the couple. He arrives because the marriage is in a good place, not the other way around. I work with kids and trust me, most kids are fully aware when mom and dad are in a bad state and he is the only reason they aren't splitting. And also I have seen the typical dumb parent who believed once the child arrived her partner would have a change of heart and would be a better person. Of course it didn't happen. And of course the child was caught in the middle of that crossfire. Why these people believe a child is the ultimate trump card for saving a marriage is beyond me. Sexual incompatibility. Misunderstanding sex as a bonding activity. When one or the other believes sex is something one does to another as if it was just a utility. Not a therapist, but I read an article once that I found very useful. I can't remember the exact terms, but basically, how you react when your partner reaches out with small probes for connection. It's not necessarily big hobbies or interests, but little things throughout every day that are sort of unconscious reaches for positive feedback from your partner. For example, I see a pretty bird outside and I say, "OMG. Come look at this cool bird." Or, "Hey, check out this song I heard that I really like." If my partner passively or blatantly rejects that, it feels bad. even if I don't always fully recognize that in the moment. Over time, those micro rejections, as I call them, start to build up, and it's why people start to feel like someone doesn't really care about them. On the flip side, even just a little bit of positive attention and sharing in a moment makes you feel so good, again even if you don't realize it. Getting up and looking at the bird is saying, this is important to you in this moment, so it's important to me. It's basically like those other small shared experiences that build up a joint life, and if you start to neglect your partner in those small ways, you can grow distant. I try really hard now to never ignore or reject my partner's small reaches. I often don't care about the Instagram meme he wants to show me or the latest NBA news, but I'll listen or look and laugh because I want him to feel loved and appreciated. Edit. They're called emotional bids, and I found a blog post from an actual professional explaining it. Keeping score. A partnership is a team, not a competition. Whether a person keeps score of everything they have done, or everything their partner has done, it is a death knell for the relationship. This is one of the most common causes of resentment in a relationship, and you see it often when people use absolute terms to describe themselves or their partners. That is, I always, she never. Remembering that each person has his or her own needs, abilities, skills, and boundaries is essential to a healthy couple. Expecting that because your significant other knows you better than others and is around you most, that they are aware of all of your thoughts and feelings. Your partner is not psychic, and no matter how often they are around you or how well they know you, they cannot pick up on every nuance to determine how you are feeling and how they should respond. That is called emotional babysitting, and it cascades into a host of problems and unnecessary hurt. In response to point 2, I banned the phrase "you should just know" from my vocabulary after experiencing how stupidly frustrating that sentence is. People sometimes forget why they just walked in a room. It's not reasonable to think that even if hints were dropped or things were insinuated that your partner understands you without you saying your thought clearly and truthfully to them. Excellent point. I'd add that our thoughts, motives, and feelings are sometimes even too complicated for us to get right on the first guess, and so it's nearly impossible for others to assume correctly when we present them with that task. Divorce lawyer here. Talk about money. Talk about sex. If you're marrying someone with a shitty credit score, you should know how and why they ended up with it, lest you find yourself in their shoes very quickly. A credit score can cost thousands and take years to rebuild. Know if they have any tax liens or liability. Are they paying child support, and do they have any kind of garnishment? Who is going to be responsible for managing the finances? How many credit cards does the other person have, and what are their balances? I've seen money kill a lot of marriages. Another one a lot of people don't think of is actually talking about sex, not just having it. Do you enjoy the sex you have? Would you like to have more of it? Less? Would you like to send it change? Do you or the other person have any weird kinks? Just have the talk. Different sexual wavelengths can be difficult to reconcile. I went to 5 sessions with my wife during a tough period. The best things we learned from that is, never lash the other with past misbehaviors when trying to resolve a current issue. We have been married 17 years, so there is limitless crap we can pull out of our history together to highlight past wrongs, and that just derails what could be a quick resolution. When one half says "I am not happy about X," do not respond with "okay, but I am unhappy with Y." Fix X, get settled. Then bring up Y if you still need to. Especially number 2. This is not a comparison. My being bad to you once doesn't justify you being bad to me, and vice versa. When your significant other brings something to your attention that they need want, don't react harshly if it's something they've refused to bring up sooner. Getting loud or defensive "why didn't you bring this up sooner" will make them shy away from bringing things up again due to negative reinforcement backlash. This is especially true if they've been victims of any kind of abusive relationships. Source: literally killed my marriage because I was an idiot and didn't respond in an open, non-positive way. Bro, I feel you. Lost my girl because I couldn't see that I was acting selfishly sooner. I'm just paying for my stupidity. I really love the girl and am willing to do my best for her well-being. I just realized that a little late. Thanks for watching. Consider leaving a like and maybe subscribe if you enjoy.